I got a new camera. Look how good it is. Isn't it such good quality now? I'm trying something new with the lighting, so please bear with me for these first few videos. Thank you very much. Anywho, Lego, that's the video. The Lego company has been around for a whole century, whereas the Lego brick has been around for about 75 years at the time of this recording. And throughout the years, Lego and the creativity of it, both because of the fans and designers, it has allowed it to evolve in a sort of way. Back in the 20th century, you used to have house but a little blocky. Now you have house but it's smooth now. That's a good upgrade. My parents grew up with it when they were growing up, and now the torch has been passed down to me as a hobby, not an addiction. Let's forget about that, alright? Stop it. And if you were to look at Lego back then versus now, you could say Lego has kind of gone mainstream. Just how big it's gotten for creators even. It has gone from like making a small collection and you recording it on your phone or whatever you have as a recording device to whole studios dedicated to Lego and museums even people have thought about in channels. It's crazy. And it's not just that, but look at the themes they have to work with. They have Star Wars, Marvel and DC, Disney and Pixar. Fucking Fortnite now? That's gonna be a thing soon. And if you look at the Lego company, they've had some positive contributions, whether that be just to donations, trying to push for more environmentally friendly options for their product, or just helping out like people, you know? It has gone from just a Lego minifigure to representing everybody, which is pretty cool. And even though I just started glazing and showering Lego with so much compliments, that doesn't mean that they're exempt from controversy, which is what I'm here to talk about. Huh. Weird. And though it can mean anything with the controversies, I'm looking into more of the product that Lego has put out. So if you're hoping this video would be the Lego company I would talk about, I'm not. But if you're hoping it'd be the Lego community and they're bad actors, then no. God, no, that is not, I'm not even diving into that. That is a rabbit hole and I am not committing. No. Here, if you really want to watch that, go watch this guy's video after mine. He goes into it way more than I can. And I've thought about it for a while, how I wanted to tackle this video. It honestly took me longer than I had thought. I had this video planned back in February. It is March now, by the way. I want to focus on a category of Lego that can stand on itself and have a discussion, which you'll see what I'm talking about later on. You can even see in the timestamps in the description if you want to just skip to that, I guess. And I'm going to try my best to walk around it to where it's not a very negative video, though it's controversy. It's going to be negative most of the time. And we're going to have 3 placements for each of these categories. I'm not going to just talk about one. I'm going to be talking about multiple. We're going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the middle area for each of these categories. Or you can even call it the gray brick. Oh my god. There we go. It's called gray brick. That's that middle ground. This is so I can look at the criticism and think of it as the bad, where I totally agree with people's just, you know, criticizing this and its controversy. On the good, where I think it's a little, you know, somewhere I disagree. Or in the middle, where I can see both sides, but I'm gonna stay 50-50 in this, you know? Again, I have timestamps in the description below for these 3 categories I'm going to be looking at today. If you want to skip to those, you totally can. I tried my best to not just talk about very well-known controversies. So I'm not going to be talking about something that you've seen in like a Watch Mojo video before, like 2012 Jabba's Palace or Mr. Gold, or even the announcement of the Simpsons theme for a bit. There is one that people really know that I just had to talk about because it's just funny to goof on it. Again, there was a lot I had to cut out because the script was already long than I already wanted it to be. So if you guys do want a part 2, let me know in the comments below. Share this. Seeing how much love this video gets, I will definitely consider making a part 2. But anyways, there's a lot to discuss here, so let's jump into the first category. Number 1. The theme. Whenever Lego makes a new line or series of sets under an IP that's already existing, like Star Wars, or even an original one like Ninjago, they classify it as a theme. Does everybody got that doesn't know Lego that much? Good? Alright, let's just jump right into the bad. What the f was Galador? I know I didn't grow up on it. I don't even have any of the products, but for those who are not over the age of 10 and haven't dived into the Lego iceberg, Lego Galador was based off a series that Lego had as a live action TV show called Galador Defenders of the Outer Dimension. Long story short, it flopped. It did not do good. Long story short, it flopped due to poor marketing and not seeming like it knew who its audience was. This review seemed like kids above 8 won't be interested. This review seemed like like it had mature writing, but it was also trying to be for kids. And hey, this guy liked it. Jesus, all this writing for Galador? Enough about the show. What about the Galador sets? Do you want to take a look? Well, instead of the minifigure approach, they decided to go for the action figure approach. Approach that has seen mild success. LEGO has dabbled into this action figure style approach or doll approach as well. Like more recently you have DC and Marvel buildable figures, and way back then you had LEGO Belleville for girls. So it seems like the only positive success they've had from this comes from the LEGO Friends line and the buildable mechs. But I want you to tell me with a straight face, look at these sets and then look at Galador. Tell me what looks like a Lego. Don't you dare pick this one. I know what you're thinking. I mean, look at all the Galador sets. All action figures that aren't even compatible with Lego bricks. And how can any fan of Lego bother to tune in for your show if it's not Lego? And then you got this guy who, if I say his name too fast, I'm afraid I'll accidentally say nipple. That's enough of Galador. Now let's go on to my gray brick area, which it's felt like to me and others has become a little bit more controversial in their theme, being the Lego minifigures line. For those who don't know the Lego minifigures line, not the minifigure, minifigures with an S. That line is based on these little blind bags that used to have one character, and it used to range from $3 back in the day to mostly $5 nowadays. Did you hear me say used to? Yeah. They used to do blind bags, but now it's recently done blind boxes. Back in the day, people would usually feel the bags to find their character that they still need so they can complete a collection. Or if they wanted another one of it, say I wanted to Mickey Mouse, then I'd feel the bag. Did I actually grab a Mickey Mouse one? Nope, this is Stitch. Say I wanted to find another Stitch, I would feel the bag, and until I found one, I'd be like, yippee, and then I'd take it into my cart. How am I supposed to feel this? Whoa. But yeah, you can't really feel the box. You can't feel what pieces are in there in boxes. Because of that, it does feel like it's a bit more of a gamble, especially because you're paying $5 for this instead of what used to be $4, $3, and you might think, hey, $5, that's not too bad to at least get one figure. Usually there's about 12 to 18 figures containing in a series. Like this one has 18. So if I do the math, I'd be spending $90. That's a little bit more fine because I can know which ones is in the bag. With the box one, and specifically this series, has 12 figures. So I'm spending $60 in hopes to get every single one. But what if I don't get that one I wanted? That means I'm gonna have to spend another $5 in hopes to get another figure that I wanted. Or my other approach is that I go to like a store called Bricks and Minifigs and I just go there in hopes they have that figure. But if they don't have that figure, then I have to go to another store like that and I just have to see if it's there. But if it's not there, then fuck me, am I right? Even though I managed to get a full series of Series 25, I spent about $150 trying to complete it. I'm sorry, my heart just stopped there for a sec saying that price. But what does help it balance out a bit is not just the price, but the figures. These figures are very detailed because they have such a big budget and it's not really a licensed theme most of the time. So they can really go all out if they wanted to. Arm printing, leg printing, dual molded legs, triple molded everything. And while it does suck that they switched from bags to boxes, this is their attempt to be more friendly to the environment. And one thing I can say is that I haven't seen anybody saying that the box is scratching up my figures. So that's pretty good. They found a cardboard that won't scratch it, I guess. Good job. But if they ever do bump up the price to $6, then maybe less people are going to be inclined to buy the product from them. But now the theme that I consider to be good, which is called Friends. Lego Friends, to be exact. Lego Friends launched back in 2012, and 9-year-old me thought this was stupid. Why is it not directed towards me? How could they? How dare they make a girly product? Am I right, boys? This is boy product. Boy product. Boy product. Boy product. No. But that is kind of the initial reaction I saw from when Lego Friends was introduced. People were just like, why is this theme here? It's just marketed to one demographic. That's because they're trying to dip shit. They meant to do that. But I also remember that people were scared that, oh, minifigures are going to be replaced by mini dolls. Looking back at 2012 Friends sets to the present ones, it's crazy how much they've upped the quality and how great it looks with the type of bricks they've used for its sets, like Andrea's Modern Mansion, Friendship Treehouse, and Andrea's Theater School that can work good for a Muppet Show mock. I actually almost thought about getting this. One of the main reactions was, this isn't for boys, how dare you? And you're right. it's not. It's meant for girls in the attempt for LEGO to not only reach boys, but also boys and girls. To show this, I have a friend's polybag that I received as a bonus with this polybag by spending more money than my wallet wanted to. And yeah, it looks like a good build for a polybag. I love the bright and vibrant colors, mostly in pieces I've gotten before, but not in that color like the trash can and camera. The otter is a nice animal piece as it's just vibing, and that's really all I have to say. LEGO Friends is not a theme including me, but that doesn't mean it's not good, as it's targeted demographic seems to love it, and even adult fans too. Now that I'm done talking about the themes, let's look into a category that you could consider to be a more deep dive into the themes. Number 2. The approach. It's the next day now and I got a haircut. The themes I chose for this category have their different types of approaches, so hopefully they're able to stand on their own. Like, let's take the theme I put in the good category being Minecraft. For those who have never touched Minecraft or heard of it, it's a blocky survival sandbox game that I haven't touched in a fat minute because of this mob. Before LEGO started making Minecraft sets that we see today, they made these microbiome world sets back in 2013. Then the year later, they started actually making what we have today. I actually own, keyword own, a few of these first wave sets back in 2014, being the original cave and the original mine set. Then the year later, I owned the snow hideout. Well, the reason why I say I used to own these sets is because I've gotten rid of them. Why? Well, take a look at them. As you can see by the sets, they seem to be a bit wide or take up a lot of space. I don't remember when I traded away the cave, but the mine I remember because it was just broken pieces inside of one of my containers, and the snow hideout, although I did love that set, it just took up one big container as well, so I had to get rid of it too. I didn't buy another Minecraft set that was above that $10 range until 2020 because I really wanted these pandas. LEGO Minecraft does require a lot of space if you want to have it or just display it, and that's okay. The reason for the use of so much space is because Minecraft is just such a huge world, and it also allows you to connect other sets that you have from Minecraft to each other and make your own big Minecraft world. Last thing I want to say about Minecraft is that the sub-theme of the houses they do rock, and I recently got the panda one because thank you Walmart clearance. Also, you should check out the short of me building this. Funny haha. Now diving into the gray brick area, we have a tie between two similar themes, being Chima and Nexo Knights. Both of these themes had really good promise, and majority of these sets were also affordable to the average buyer. Not only that, but it also brought in some unique and special molds for these characters. Something that I like. I really do like unique and special molds to minifigures. Also, both of these themes had shows connected to their themes, but as you can see, it's no longer running and neither is the theme. So why is it no longer there? Well, I don't know if you know this other show that has a LEGO theme as well, but it's kind of popular, you know. Have you ever heard of Ninjago?
I'm still black.
I grew up watching Ninjago and I loved it, especially season 1, and it's pretty much just season 1. I love the Serpentines. But still, this show rocked for many kids my age around that time, and this show was actually supposed to end back in season 2, but as you can see, it is 2024 and the show's still going. But I kind of like to pair Ninjago to Smash Bros, and you'll see why. So you know how Smash Bros is like a really popular game, and then whenever a fighting game similar to it comes out and people are like, oh, it's the Smash Killer, or it's gonna replace Smash Bros, and then it never does? That's kind of Ninjago with Chima and Nexo Knights. After Ninjago was done, Chima came into the fray and was supposed to be the replacement to Ninjago, but it didn't do as well. Shocker. But I don't know if LEGO knew this was going to happen or not, but LEGO Ninjago became really popular and people wanted more. So you could probably tell that LEGO Ninjago fans weren't happy with Chima and it being replacement to their show. Not only that, but LEGO Chima was just so much more inferior to Ninjago. Ninjas 1, anthropomorphic animals 0. So all that together, it kind of just set the theme up for failure, only lasting 3 years and then being discontinued after that, where the show only lasted for a little bit over a year. Barely, very much barely. And then when it was time for Nexo Knights, it kind of felt the same thing. Only difference is that they realized, like, we probably shouldn't get rid of Ninjago. We'll keep it. You guys just coexist in the same world. they couldn't. Nexo Knights pretty much is just knights in the future, but that's the problem, they're knights. Lego Castle was a old 20th century theme back in the day that has a cult following to it, and people were really excited hearing that they were going to get another knights theme, only for it to be knights on acid. Although it lasted a year longer than Chima, it unfortunately didn't do better ratings wise, and it also ran into the problem of funding issues, meaning it ran into the same fate as Chima, 3 years and then done. But after that, it seems like Lego's gotten better at making a TV show while also having a theme behind it as well, some of those being Monkey Kid and Dreams. It's not trying to take over or be a replacement to Ninjago, rather it's just doing its own thing, which is what Chima and Nexo Knights should have done. I'll save my thoughts on Monkey Kid in the future if you guys do want a part 2, but I will say the sets, although a little bit more on the pricier side, look great and amazing. And if you do have the money and want to look into getting at least one set for this theme, I definitely recommend it. And though I've never seen the show yet, I do gotta say the animation looks pretty stellar. As for Dreams, I also haven't seen the show, but I will say, maybe this might be a bit of a hot take, it's Lego's most modern creative theme in like a fat minute. The idea of building the standard creation, then either choosing to keep it as is or choose option A or B to up the wow factor of it just screams charms, and I hope Dreams and Monkey Kid last a couple more years. Also, I found the last 2 Chima sets I had. Yep, traded them in for the Simpsons house. I was kind of hoping for that gray brick area to be a bit more brief than it was, but you know what will be brief? Our bad. Remember Video? Lego Video was a theme where it was built around the use of an app, but also Lego wanting to dabble into the music making scene, which absolutely blew up in their face. Lego's track record with making apps hasn't been the greatest, as the video app kept experiencing technical difficulties and just not working as it should. As for the theme though, it didn't really start off with sets, but it started off with, going back to this, blind boxes. Yeah, Lego Video was the first theme to do blind boxes. You can thank them for that. But it didn't just start with the blind boxes, it also started with these beat boxes that retailed for, and I kid you not, $20. I get it that the plastic is huge and it's gonna cost a lot to make, but you're asking a lot from me if I gotta spend $20 to get invested into a new theme that already isn't starting off on the right track. I don't care about the app, I don't like the blind boxes, and now I'm paying $20 to get a set? And I was previously saying that I like unique and special molds to minifigures. Like, I'm glad to have the Lego Llama minifigure from the Beatbox set, and I'm also glad that I got the Ice Cream Man and the Shark Swimmer from the blind boxes, but I swear to God, if I get a 6-disc cowboy minifigure, I'm gonna lose it. And once it did release sets 4 months later, by the way, it was just too late. This theme tremendously flopped. The theme started back in 2021, but it ended that same year in December. But I want to also briefly mention this as an honorable mention, being DC. Here's a list of all the DC sets. Now here's a list of all the Batman sets. Did you see the difference? The difference is that the DC theme doesn't include the 3 Batman vs. Joker sets and just has different keychains. All the DC sets after 2020 have just been Batman and his Bat family and Joker. Nothing else. It's the same thing over and over again for the past 3.5 years. And why I say 3.5 is because it seems like Lego is finally going to take on a different approach with the DC theme and make it better, hopefully. I'm finally glad they're actually going to change this theme up a bit, because I really like the DC sets and figures, but if this new wave doesn't wow anybody, I doubt people are going to buy this theme or it's going to last any longer. But I could be wrong, people love Batman. Now that I finished talking about the themes and approaches, I want to get into probably the more controversial and unfortunately going to be the most negative part of this video, being number 3. The minifigure. This guy's worth over $2,000. That's like buying 4 Sony 55-inch flat screen TVs, then going to Five Guys to celebrate buying those 4 TVs. What's as iconic as Lego's Lego brick? Well, that would be Lego's Lego minifigure. My head just started hurting after saying that. It's a nice way of getting iconic and memorable characters in a short size, but it's also good for displaying with sets and other minifigures you hold value to, and it's also a great investment. Again, $2,000, Jesus Christ. But as of recent, some minifigures have definitely come under scrutiny or a controversy. Instead of looking at it from a good to bad stance like I've been doing in this video, I'm gonna look at it from a different approach. The bad is gonna be the biggest offenders. The good is gonna be, I feel like they're getting a little bit carried away around this figure, and the middle ground is gonna stay the middle ground. And because I've always started on the good and bad themes in the previous categories, let's start with the gray brick area, and probably the most controversial area, being on Commander Fox and Captain Vaughn. Starting with Fox, he was rumored to be in the Republic Coruscant gunship back in 2023, and people were hyped for this news because the last time we got a Republic gunship playset was back in 2013, and it's also a little bit different, which is cool. And not only that, but Fox is going to be in the set in his Phase 2 armor. Moments later, the set is revealed, and so is the figure, and fans are upset. Not only did the white on top of the red mesh wrong, as it made the white come out more like a pink, the knee pads and lower chest armor piece were white instead of red, and the comma is printed on instead of the cloth piece. My personal opinion is yeah, but honestly to me it still looks fine. I completely get the complaints though, as when you stare at that faded printing, it stands out a bit more the more you look at it. For the comma though, the last time they actually did a cloth piece for the clones was back in 2020 in the set General Grievous's Starfighter, and after that they haven't done it since, so I'm kinda used to it at this point. As for the wrong coloring on the armor, it's not that big of a deal for me either. Does it suck that they got it wrong? Yes. Does it look like shit? No, not really. It is inaccurate though, but honestly, Lego is the best inaccurate product you can get. You're not going to get one-to-one copies on these Lego minifigures, but when you do, it hits. And when you don't, it's not the end of the world. If you're looking for like 100% accurate, everything's there to a T, to a dime, you're going to have to look towards the Black Series figures from Hasbro. There, they'll get every single detail down that Lego doesn't do or can't. But I do understand fans being upset, as you have to pay $140 to buy this set, but I'm not buying the set just for the figure. I'm buying the set because of the figures, and the set is good. I like the set. But now let's look at Vaughn. Vaughn came out in the 332nd Clone Trooper Battle Pack, and because I'm talking about this, you can tell fans were a little bit upset. And while the set got some flack as a whole with the build and the helmet holes, albeit the claims of how the set is an atrocity or trash needs to calm down a bit, dude. It's not that serious. I never really got battle packs for their builds. Mainly it was for the armor building potential you could do with it. And when Vaughn got shown in the set, fans thought they dropped the ball with it. But the only difference I see between Vaughn and a 332nd Clone Trooper is that there's a little red marking down the middle of his mask, and that his visor is reddish brown, and there's also white printing on his visor. There's also his rank number and like his jetpack, but other than that, he's a pretty similar to a 332nd. Look, I don't ever see Lego doing printing on visors, as whenever you get a set that comes with visors or rangefinders, it's in a separate bag where it comes with multiple of these, just in case you lose it or for army building. So what they could have done at least maybe is just have that little red mark on the helmet, and then boom, he's a little bit different and stands out a bit more. Other than that, he's almost a completely accurate Lego figure of Vaughn. But my personal opinion with this figure is that it's cool that we have him, and it sucks that he doesn't stand out just a little bit more to the other 332nd Clone Troopers, but also it's a figure that I'm not really attached to as many others probably are, because for me, he was just in a very few scenes in the last season of Clone Wars, so my opinion is probably way more different than other people when it comes to getting this figure. But now let's look at the figures that I think are people going a little bit overboard on the hate train for this, being Clone Trooper 5s and Darth Malak. We're talking about them. Let's flash back to 2019, where Lego wanted to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Lego Star Wars. And what they did is that they took 5 sets that year and put 5 unique figures in them. Those minifigures had a theme, being 5 original trilogy characters, but in their classic Lego theme from back in the day. Holy shit, that took hard to say. With a 6th one being Ben Kenobi being exclusive to a polybag. For their 25th anniversary, they decided to just do some never before seen characters into minifigures. There's going to be 6 total this year, with a 7th going to be exclusive to a book, being Darth Maul in his classic look with a 25th anniversary logo on the back. But out of the 6 so far, 2 have been officially revealed and are now being sold, being 5s and Darth Malak. When I was first making this video, I had the Darth Malak set, but I didn't have the 5 set yet because it was sold out at the time, but now I do. And to talk about 5s, we need to dive into when it got revealed. And it didn't get formally revealed, it got leaked. When a long-awaited set or minifigure gets leaked, I think that's the worst thing that could happen to it. Not because it doesn't get formally revealed, it's because whoever takes the picture of it looks like they used a 5th gen Android Motorola as their phone. I would know because I used to have one. Either it's the quality of the photo, the angle, or both where it's bad. And wow, look at this figure. I don't know why this is the image the leaker chose, because it shows the worst part of the Fives figure being his big ass forehead. Like, look at this thumbnail. Why, forget the creator who made it, no offense. That helmet print plus the helmet holes made it a great target for big critics. But I learned my lesson to just wait and save my final thoughts for when the figure is either revealed, I see actually good quality photos of it, or I have it in my hands. Like, look at this next photo that got leaked a few days before it got officially revealed. So much better. The worst part about that figure now is that his pauldron piece just sucks. And now that I finally have the figure, it actually looks pretty good. Not only that, but where it is on my display, it doesn't show the bad parts about it. It actually makes it way better. But that's enough of Fives. Let's move on to Darth Malik, where his situation's a bit different. It's not the figure that's controversial, it's the set the figure is in. This is the newest buildable R2-D2 set, coming in at $100. Having it built up, it honestly looks pretty good, and I'll have to find room on a shelf for it. But this is also the controversy, the set itself. Back in 2021, LEGO released a UCS R2-D2 build for $200 to celebrate Lucasfilm's 50th anniversary. And while it is pretty soon for another R2-D2 build, he's a very well-known character in Star Wars and is on the face of the celebration, along with a LEGO life-size R2 they just recently showcased. Plus, those who couldn't afford the UCS version now have a chance to afford a much more affordable, albeit still at a high price, version of R2. And while Fives in his ARC Trooper fit has been very wanted, so has Darth Malik, and people are upset because it got released in a set most people around that age already have. But I think it's something else. This is my theory. I think LEGO knows their audience. Fives, he's a very more well-known character than Malik. He's been in the Clone Wars, he's in the Bad Batch, he's been around for many other instances. Whereas if we look at Darth Malik, he came out in a game back in 2003 called Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. People who played this game are older than me, and most likely they have money. So LEGO being a company, they see that and they're like, oh, what if we did this? That's my theory. But to end the discussion on Darth Malik, I want to look at this other discussion that was being made. I was going to show you the video while leaving the guy's name anonymous because I just want to avoid harassment towards this guy, but I think it's best to just do both and not show the guy's name or the video, just to be safe than sorry. But I want to also mention he's in the middle ground for this discussion. Is LEGO gatekeeping the Darth Malik figure? No. End of discussion. I think if it's something that people can get multiple times and is widely accessible to others, then it's not being gatekept. You know what would be a better example of gatekeeping? Those Comic-Con figures and those limited number of sets when it's like 1 out of 500, those type of things. Other than that, LEGO is not gatekeeping Darth Malik, and it's just a company seeing a good money opportunity. I'm just gonna speed run through the bad real quick, but we're gonna start with a non-Star Wars minifigure being Misako from the LEGO Ninjago movie. This is what she looks like in the LEGO games and movie, and this is what she looks like as the LEGO product. What happened? I know I kind of defended the look of Fox in his printing, but yellow printing on black looks so much more jarring than white printing on red. It's not even a situation with Fox where if I look at it for too long, I start to see the bad printing, whereas Misako, if I just stare at it, I see it. But that's enough about Misako. You owe me $16 for buying this figure. Next one. This is what the Iron Man figures used to look like back in 2012, and this is what they look like now. Tell me what the difference is. If you said the one on the right has a noggin the size of Jimmy Neutron, you'd be correct. This is so much more of a downgrade compared to the helmet holes on clones. I do not care. It is facts. It is facts. Well, that was a lot of ranting and talking about LEGO. I think I will take a sip out of my LEGO mug now for water. I have to build it? This video took way longer for me to think on and just figure out what I wanted to keep and get rid of. So if you guys do want a part 2, definitely show some love on this video. So let's get that part 2. Let's go team. Gold team rules, am I right? But that's also going to be the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below if you agreed or disagreed with any of my points in here, or even comment your own opinions and thoughts as well. Also subscribe, as that'll put a smile on my face. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go take a quiz on which LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga death sound goes with which character on impossible difficulty. But, yeah. Okay, bye.